What is going on, everyone? It is Monday. I'll tell you what, days can blend together, but I do know the date, August 3rd, is right around the corner, and that is the trade deadline. That's like always on my docket, which also means we're almost at the end of the month of July. The summer is rolling on through, but that doesn't stop our day today because we got a great show for you as we move into the end of July. And guys, if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We're live Monday through Friday right here on YouTube, X, and Facebook. Well, we want to recap you on what you may have missed or some of our best moments from the weekend. We'll call it our little Monday moments. That's how we'll kick off the show. Then we'll get into a little bit of football season because training camp, believe it or not, it's here. It is here and it is now. And we do have some football notes to talk about. And Dan Orlowski had some comments about the Ravens. I think it's a great starting point. And then there was some big news, at least when it comes to one Raven star that people were not sure about. And that is what we're talking about with Nnamdi Madubuike. Then as we move forward, talk about some other NFL news. There's just a couple little headlines that we think you guys should know about. And then we know our audience still loves baseball, and it's still baseball season. I'm sorry if you watched the Orioles-Braves game yesterday. Rough one. They lose the series, still gain ground in the wild card. We'll have some reactions, some thoughts, and then we'll recap the Hall of Fame because if we're talking about the present day of baseball, we got to look at the past of those that have played the great game. And there were three that went in. Jeff Kent, Carlos Beltran, and Andrew Jones were inducted this weekend. And then there's another induction happening this next week here in Baltimore. Long-time favorite for the Orioles during that time, Chris Davis. He joins us. He is going into the Orioles Hall of Fame this Saturday when the Birds take on the Phillies. So excited to talk with him. Then we'll have some news and notes and wrap on up on the way out, as you guys know. So we appreciate you guys. And if you're looking for all of the Ryan Ripken Show content, make sure you're following us on the social pages at Ryan Ripken Show. We're also on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. I'm not by myself in here today. Mr. B-Rad is back. Brad.
What's up, my man?
Happy Monday.
The hair has returned.
The hair has returned.
Yeah, happy Monday. It is also fascinating to me. Chris Davis still getting paid by the Orioles and getting inducted into the Orioles Hall of Fame. Literally just the thought just crossed my mind as you were talking about. I was like, damn, he's still on the payroll too.
Yes, he is. And he will be.
Gotta love it.
He will be for quite some time. And then we got somewhere behind the scenes, we got two faces. Who wants to emerge first? Zach, are you there?
There he is.
No, he's muted. I muted myself. That's on me. I should let Rocco go first. Ryan, is that slicked back or pushed back?
I wasn't going to say anything.
What's wrong with
I was just asking if that was slicked back. Is there a difference? Yeah, there's.
It's damp.
Look, Sam,
dampened back.
Sam says it's slicked back, Ryan.
Yeah,
like
slicked back. That looks slicked back.
Damn right. I got some flow in the back, not in the front. That's for sure. Who also doesn't have any flow in the back? That's our next guy, Rock.
Oh, I got him. There we go.
I remember when Ryan used to be a piece of shit. He's not anymore. I don't think he gets the reference. It's like when he brings up the movie references to you and Kevin, he has no clue what the hell we're talking about. And it saddens me. You would love that show, by the way, Rip.
You would love that show.
Yeah, you would love it.
I guess I need to be more of a show guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't have this in the lineup, guys, but I do have a poll for today too, and it's a good one.
Oh boy,
love it.
Brad's polls back for this.
Oh yeah,
Monday.
It is controversial for sure.
Who doesn't love a little controversy here at the Ryan Ripken Show? We wouldn't do that. Well, we're not going to do that right now because we want to get to Monday Moments. But before we get to the Monday Moments, we just want to let you guys know that we appreciate you and
we appreciate CQ.
You can bank on it.
Wow, here we go. Look at us. Hey, you know what? I was a little bit worried if we were going to hit that. Rocco, anything to say? Do you want to add in your phrase?
I'm just here for a good time, man. I think you guys did fantastic. Moral support is my thing. It's great. It's great.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
just cheering you guys on.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good.
Well, I had it right here. There. Well, no, it's gone. And it's gone. Nope, it's back. Hey, guys, we want to mention to you that the CQMD Foundation Golf Classic is coming up the end of September. It's Maryland's premier charity golf event. I will be there. Registrations are open now, so you have 2 months in advance. Brad, we actually were there, I believe, last year, and we won the
whole thing. Sure did. I've done it 2 years in a row now, so this will be my third year, and it is a great event. It's at Turf Valley, and it's a great golf course. It's a great time, and for a good cause.
Certainly is. And yeah, I know it's all for fun, and it's about giving back. We are going to try to win.
Yes, it's still competitive. Let's be real about it.
But if you don't want to compete and just have a good time, there is a Bloody Mary bar. That was confirmed to me.
Oh,
that's sick. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Well, that got confirmed this week, which you'll see out on the social platforms here. Charlotte confirmed with us.
Hell yeah.
So just to make sure it's safe for everyone, that it's the right mixture, I will try it first.
Oh, there we go.
15 holes of golf. Or if you don't want to play, but you still want to be in on the action out there because there's a lot of things going on, there's a 2-hour small group lesson. You're trying to get really into the game of golf at one of the most beautiful courses in the area. Breakfast, lunch, cocktail reception with drinks after, gifts, raffles, putting, longest drive, and hole-in-one contest, even more special surprises. Any golfer or just anyone that wants to go out for a good time will love. So help support scholarships, because that's why we're there. Scholarships for the Maryland region. So you want more to help? Well, go to cqmdfoundation.org/golf-classic to register today. We'll see you at Turf Valley on September 28th. So appreciate our friends over at CQ, proud sponsor of the Ryan Ripken Show.
There's always like familiar faces / celebrities that show up to this thing too. So definitely something you want to come to.
Is Nick Moore going to show his face, or is he too cool for us now? Yeah, I didn't think so.
If he does, he'll show up 9 holes late. So,
yeah, what a guy.
He can't win the round. I can tell
my
you
favorite Raven.
Well, it's gonna be a stiff competition between me, Rip, Tony, and if he brings his son, Tony's another guy with CQ. His son's the ringer of all of us. But yeah,
you got to play complimentary golf.
Yes.
So when you have the scramble, complimentary, and Tony's son could hit the ball freaking miles.
Nice.
So that was in the fairway. We go. That's
the one we're playing.
That's the one we're playing.
So you know what that means, Zach? We're shit out of luck. We're not invited.
Nope.
Sounds like it's going to be a good time for them.
I would never bring myself to a golfing event.
I was going to say.
I would, but didn't get the invite. So
know your strengths, Rock.
Shout out to those guys.
We also know how bad you are at golf. Like, we're not doing that.
Me?
Yeah.
What?
He's there for the Bloody Mary.
How bad I am at golf.
Yeah,
you never golf with me, you smacked ass.
No, I'm talking. Your dad sure had lots of.
My dad cheats at golf, dude. He literally has a trophy on his mantle that says Fish Award for the fishiest golf score from his peers. I don't want to hear shit from that guy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's terrible.
Zach.
Are you kidding me? I suck at golf.
You get it's so easy to trigger you, Rock.
It's so easy, bro.
It's just like,
it's okay.
Like,
don't appreciate the slander here, but it is what it is.
There was no slander.
There was slander.
Just true speaking. That's all.
You know what? Okay. Come get a 2-hour lesson and a Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Moving on. That, you know what? We tried our best here. And that was a great moment, Rocco. But you know what? That's not the moments that I'm thinking of for this past weekend. So we each have our Monday moments, things that caught our eye from this past weekend. We're going to put this in each Monday. We can talk about it. So I'll kick it off here on this beautiful 27th of July here in Monday. Short-circuited.
Jesus.
Come on, buddy.
And scene. Guys, a friend of the show, friend of the program, Will Clark and the Cole Clark family had a really cool moment this past weekend at Oracle Park. Goodness gracious. Out there in San Francisco, Will had his daughter Ella throw out the first pitch, and it was to Will's son Trey, as it was autism acceptance night. And you can see, if we can pull up the clip right there, just a really great moment for the Clark family. You know, there's things that we talk about with baseball and being on the field and doing something together as a family. This is probably up there as one of the most special times you can have, where it can be multiple members of your family and you're out there for a great night. And Will, as you guys know, yes, he can be a little bit unfiltered, but man, does he love his family, and how much time and effort he has spent with them and how much he cares. And to see that moment with the three of them right there, it's a great shot of the Clark family. And we're going to have Will back on to talk more of the 90s here in Baltimore.
Yeah.
But really cool moment. That was my weekend moment, guys. Again, just can't get over that. It was a really special moment for the Clark family. Who is next up? I think we got Rock. You want to go next?
Yeah, absolutely. So, big golf tournament over the weekend, the 3M Open. And this kid who ended up winning the tournament is going to be a stud. He already is. He's a 3-time SEC Player of the Year, went to Auburn, War Eagle, Jackson Coyvin. And it's tough to win a tournament in general, but he did it in his third professional outing. And not only that, you see the guy who's in second right there. If you look at the leaderboard, it's a number 1 golfer in the world, Scotty Scheffler, fresh on his tail. So, I mean, to do that and to show stones like that on that stage, national television, and Scotty Scheffler is trying to chase you down. I mean, what a moment. And then he gets to hug his dad after he hugs his caddy. His dad was like stone-faced. He's like, yeah, my son does this all the time. It's just another Sunday for me. But just a really great moment for a 21-year-old who's out there, playing with grown adults and just doing his thing. So shout out to him. I see potential, multiple majors in his future, but just a really cool moment for him in the golf world as well. It's a young emerging star that's potentially going to take over the sport.
Yeah, Rock, I mean, I appreciate you saying as far as like Scheffler being on his tail. He wasn't, dude. That guy dominated that whole round. Was up and won by 4 strokes. So like it wasn't close. And it's just so impressive. I guess it makes it even more impressive that he was up by that much at the end of it all.
I'm talking about as Scheffler just sitting in second, making a charge on a Sunday, like to do that. Sure. But yes, you're right. Like Scheffler ended the day, went in the clubhouse, and this kid just, it was like it was another day for him out there on the course. So
he was he had ice in his veins. Is that the phrase? He had the stones on the weekend. He didn't buckle to the pressure. So an awesome moment, and that's a golfer you should be watching. And that was a cool moment from this weekend. Brad, what's your Monday moment?
My Monday moment goes to the racetrack. So the Brickyard 400 was this past Sunday in Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And speaking of young guys that are just lighting the world on fire, if you guys don't know who Corey Heim is, he's another name that you should get yourself familiar with because he's the youngest race car driver to win the Brickyard 400 since Jeff Gordon. This kid is absolutely unbelievable, and he's relentless. I love it. NASCAR's been missing this kind of stuff for a while of just like guys who don't give a shit, and then like people who are other drivers that are continuing to create these rivalries, right? And there's another one, Carson Hocevar. If you guys don't know who he is, he's another driver. It's been in for a while, but then he flips off Corey Heim here. So let me play this again because it is really quick. But if you guys don't know, so you see Corey Heim going into the pits right here. He actually had no idea this was happening. So Corey Heim blocked Hocevar, and you see him come right to him in the pit lane just to go flip him off. And this is the kind of stuff that like we love from NASCAR. If you're a NASCAR fan, if you're a racing fan, it's stuff that you just haven't seen for a while, and it's awesome that it's happening again. But that was my Monday moment. Just, I mean, in the middle of a race, get on over to the pit lane, flip the guy off, get back to racing. He ended up getting a 9th, but Corey Heim wins the Brickyard 400, so he had the last laugh.
I'm telling you, people love the hate in sports, like people love when you're a little bit pissed off, and I'm glad everyone's all right. But you know what? That adds to the entertainment value,
Brad,
and it
goes. Did you see the Pennzoil 250? The winner of that was burning out on the bricks, and they had like 18 people trying to scrub it off with like toothbrushes.
No, I didn't see that.
So it's just like, it tells you how royal those bricks are and how much they care about them. Like, you can't be doing that.
Absolutely.
Can't do it. And again, we haven't seen a rivalry, Zach, since Ricky Bobby and John Girard, right?
Exactly what I was going to say.
I thought so as well.
Say.
Besides that, what is your moment for the weekend, Zach?
Yeah, the Mets are going to Met even when they win. Mets looking to avoid the series sweep against the Dodgers. Have a great victory, 8-3. And just when you think, okay, at least they won, well, they continue to be the Mets. As post-game, going out there, Juan Soto, Francisco Alvarez missed everything on the Gatorade shower. I
Taylor
mean,
remains dry.
not a single drop hits Tyrone Taylor.
That's the Mets season in a nutshell, guys.
It is. And that's just the perfect way to encapsulate, like you said, Rocco, the entirety of the Mets season, even when something goes well and you're like,
can't even celebrate right.
They can't. Mets gonna Mets. It's just just classic.
Yeah.
They are right now, if I'm looking at this correct, the only teams that are worse than them in the National League is just the Colorado Rockies. That's it. Whole American League.
End of list.
Just the Angels. 2 teams are only worse than the New York Mets. Well, how about that? So as much as frustration is in Baltimore over the Orioles, it can be worse. But don't worry, we will get into what was brutal on Sunday. And Zach, I did see your KZR reaction after. You did not handle it well. Spoiler alert, but if you want to go back and watch it, Zach was not a happy camper. I know a lot of people weren't, but we'll get into that in just a little bit because we're going to have our baseball conversations lead us into our interview with Chris Davis, who will be joining us here at the top of the hour. So why don't we rush into our football content? Before we get into our football content, guys, why don't we cross streams here for a quick moment and go from one stream to another. And our friends over at AutoStream Car Care Center want to remind you that it is hot. It is the summer. We just mentioned almost the end of July. And this special offer at AutoStream, if you're having AC issues, make sure you lock in on this deal before July 31st because you will get $100 off any AC service at any of the 11 locations for AutoStream Car Care Center around Maryland. You can mention $100 off for the AC service. You can mention Ryan Ripken, the Ryan Ripken Show, and whammy, the deal is yours. But this offer is up when the calendar moves to August. So we appreciate our friends over at AutoStream Car Care Center. And by the way, AutoStream Car Care Center sent the Myers to the ballpark this past Friday. They won the giveaway. So if you're looking for more opportunities to win some cool things and go to some cool events, make sure you're following Ryan Ripken Show and AutoStream Car Care Center. So from that stream back to this one, guys, we will get into football and training camp beginning in Baltimore. But, guys, this is still involved with football. It's been in the news a lot recently here over the last few weeks or maybe month when the diagnosis of former Titans running back and Titans legend, in my opinion, and longtime NFL running back Chris Johnson. And he was diagnosed with ALS, and the Ice Bucket Challenge came back into fruition here. And I actually participated with the help from the Brigance Brigade because people know in Baltimore the importance of not only that foundation, but the impact of O.J. Brigance and his journey and story. And so I put out the video. It's on Instagram and Facebook. Go watch it. Right, because I want people to go. Or do you want to show the clip, Rock? You tell me.
Yeah, we're definitely.
Want to show the clip?
Absolutely.
I said some things, but why don't you hear Ryan Ripken talk about it all over again? This is back at the forefront with all the news with Chris Johnson. We're seeing all these ice bucket challenges, and look, good time to talk about this a little bit more. It's not the circumstance that anybody wants to deal with, but since we have the space and time right now, we should talk about it. And there's so many ways that you can continue to help in this fight, but also help the ones that are struggling with it on the day-to-day. ALS affects more than just the individual. It also affects the ones that are helping, the caregivers, the families. And if you're from Baltimore, you're from Maryland, you're well familiar with O.J. Brigance and the Brigance Brigade. And what they try to focus on is how to help the families get through the day-to-day. You know, life's hard. It's challenging. And this is just a reminder, when you're having chances to donate and make a difference, go to thebrigantsbrigade.org, because the donations right to the website and to the foundation will go directly to the families that need it. So there's so many ways that we can help here. Let's turn a negative situation into such a positive outcome. Ice bucket's getting ready for me, but I have a lot of friends and family. I'm going to call on you in a little bit. I'm not going to call you out yet. Are we ready? Should we do it? All right, let's go. It's kind of hot, actually. Woo! Appreciate everyone that gives support, and check out the Brigance Brigade for more information. There was a lot of ice in there too.
That was huge chunks of ice.
And I'm the one that filled it up.
It looked painful.
Mostly ice.
I'm ready for football season. Let's just say
He was
that.
on the phone with me earlier before we posted it, and he's like, I might have to start the season on the IL or the IR because I'm in concussion protocol right now. I think he took a few chunks to the head, and it would make sense considering, just Ryan in general. But, it's good on you, Rip, for doing that for a good cause, especially. And you talk about OJ Brigance and the legacy that he just has, not only as a Baltimore Raven, but as a human being. Making the first tackle of that Ravens' first Super Bowl, that victory over the Giants, opening kickoff, OJ Brigance right there. But it goes far beyond that. You see OJ Brigance out at Ravens training camps, around the community, what OJ Brigance has done, the legacy that he has. It's just something special. So to do that and partner with the Brigance Brigade on that, it was really cool to see.
It was. And again, you can go to brigantsbrigade.org for more information. If you want to donate, again, the money and the proceeds, every cent goes directly to families and caregivers of those in need, because there's so many different ways to help battle this. And we appreciate our friends at the Brigance Brigade, and we appreciate everyone that's out there that's battling. There is a huge group that is out there to support you. Rock, though, you're right. OJ Brigance has been out at camp. He's been out there in the community and with the Ravens for years to come. And I'm sure he might make another trip out there this year, because training camp is underway in Baltimore, and a lot of places around the NFL, they're opening up shop for the 2026 season. And here we go. Now, there are some question marks, and there's still some parts we are going to figure out as we go. And speaking of trying to figure things out, Dan Orlovsky, friend of the show, friend of the program, well, he was suggesting that this morning on ESPN Get Up about this Ravens team. There's so many expectations, with the one expectation of winning the Super Bowl. Well, let's maybe not judge the Ravens so early, as they are trying to figure out how they're going to be the 2026 Ravens. So let's play that clip.
In Baltimore this year, I correlate this a little bit to Chicago last year. So Declan Doyle comes over as the new offensive coordinator for Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Two-time MVP, one of the great players of this last generation. It's a very different offense that he's been accustomed to. And if you think about Caleb last year in Chicago, September and October, not a good offense. Bottom 10 in the NFL. November, December became a top 5 offense in the NFL. It's just going to take time. This is Lamar Jackson, a new interior offensive line, 2 young new receivers on the perimeter, only real one tight end that he's got a history with. I just think waiting to see what this unit looks like in November is going to be much more reliable declaration of who they are rather than the first month of the season.
I agree with Dan on that. And for the last week, if you had been tuning into our programming with some of our guests, and we just talked to Femi about this, there is probably going to be a little bit of a learning curve, and the defense is typically always going to be ahead of the offense. Now, still, there could be some defensive growing pains. We've seen it in the past. We want to go back to 2022 for the Baltimore Ravens. Well, that defense had some serious struggles early, and that was Mike McDonald. Then flash forward to 2023, there was the most dominant defense in all of football. But Zach, I think it's exactly what we talked with Femi and some of our other guests so far that we've had across this topic. There's so much to like about Declan Doyle. There's so much to like about what the Ravens already have in Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. But there probably is going to be some growing pains and adjustments that are going to take game reps to try to sort themselves out here, which might take longer than the preseason.
Yeah, and I mean, you also have to add in the fact that Declan Doyle hasn't called plays before at the NFL level in a regular season game. Yes, he did obviously a bunch in practice. He was the main person game planning, did some preseason calls, but like you said, preseason and regular season are two totally different things. There's going to be learning curves, and this is going to be something that takes time. I think Dan nailed it. I think they're going to be, honestly, I don't think we see what happened in Chicago happen in Baltimore. Simply put, I think Lamar Jackson, even if things aren't going great, that offense, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, they're going to make up for some things on themselves, by themselves. I don't see them as a bottom 10 unit, but also wouldn't surprise me if they're outside of the top 10. If they're in that middle range after the first 6 to 8 games, and then you kind of go from there, let them hit it in stride and see where they go. I agree completely. I don't think this is something where if you see the Ravens offense struggling, I mean, this is a whole new coaching staff. This isn't just the OC. They're learning a completely different system, how they're running practices, everything. They're going to need to get adjusted. It's not just going to be training camp. This is something that is going to take some time. And I like what he said. You probably don't know what this offense looks like until you get into November.
Here's what I'll say to that. I'll say one more thing. The recognition of Declan Doyle's genius amongst the players is something that I don't know if I've actually seen before, coming from Zay Flowers and Lamar Jackson and like a lot of these guys. So it seems as though, even though this is new for everybody, including Declan Doyle, that there's a lot of confidence about this. And I think naturally the defense will probably come on a little bit sooner, not just because of what you said, Rocco, but obviously with Jesse Minter's background, it would make a ton of sense. But I think there's a lot of things to be encouraged by, just given what the players are saying about Declan Doyle, which quite frankly, I haven't heard from Lamar Jackson quite like this since he started in Baltimore.
I think one thing before Rock, to add on, I want you to go. This will be Declan Doyle's first time fully running the show. Now, he was the offensive coordinator with the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Johnson, though, make no mistake.
Yes.
Ben Johnson was the main point of this, but obviously Ben Johnson felt so highly enough of Declan Doyle to have him. Sean Payton has talked about Declan Doyle in the past and the greatness of it. So that's another part here. But Rock, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. No, it's, we've talked about Declan Doyle and the Ben Johnson and how he did not call plays with the Bears. He was the guy that would strategize at halftime, really make those adjustments. And it was a reason why the Bears were successful in the second half of some of these football games, because of the adjustments that Declan Doyle was able to make. He was able to review the first half, what they did, and then go into the second half, make those adjustments and execute them. What'll be interesting for something I'd find interesting this season. So new offense, new offensive coordinator, new head coach. I know we're getting to training camp. This is the week. Veterans report tomorrow, I believe. And then the rest of the week we have good talking points and topics. We're going to learn a lot more just about the team and how they're going to handle things. How much, if any, does Lamar Jackson and some of these starters play in the preseason game, play in that first or second preseason game, or the final one as well? Like, do they step on the field? Are they in for just one drive? Are they in for a full quarter? Is it going to take are there going to be growing pains like you guys talked about? Where on the defensive side of the ball, a lot of the defensive players, especially the guys that have been there for a while, the Roquan Smiths, the Kyle Hamiltons, they're familiar with Weave. They're familiar with Anthony Weaver, what he does. I mean, he's a guy that players would gravitate towards when he was working with the defensive line back when he was with the Ravens for his first stint. Like and the energy he brought was infectious. Just watching him, all smiles, but like, make no mistake, there's a serious demeanor to this guy, and he wants you to work, and he wants the best out of you. Every play, every snap, anytime you go into battle on the football field. Declan Doyle on the other side, I feel like we're going to get much of the same from him for the Ravens. It's going to be, but again, going to take some getting adjusting to, going to get some time for players to be on the same page with a new offense and a new guy calling plays. And I do expect there to be some growing pains, but not to the extent of this is going to be a bad football team by any means. Not that anyone said that the first couple of games or weeks in the season. I think there's going to be some points where we're going to say, okay, they could have done that differently. They could have done that differently. Give them a week or two and they'll clean things up. But I think to the extent, like, that's what we're going to get out of this offense going forward. I think with Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and just like the guys they have, the veterans, this is going to be a well-oiled machine. But looking back to Todd Monken, the first couple of weeks with him, it wasn't all rainbows and butterflies. Guys needed to get on the same page. We're probably going to see much of that with Declan Doyle coming in calling offensive plays.
Well, and here's one more kicker with this. How much are we going to see them play in a preseason game? Right? Like, the offense, you can say we're going to get those reps in practice. Mm-hmm. And some teams can come out of the gate firing, but typically speaking, offenses are not humming week one. Why? There is concern about any of your stars getting hurt early, which I completely get. And you're going to have joint practices or you're going against your own unit, but it's still different when you're going out there and you're going against the team's best unit and getting those reps. And that's something that more than likely we won't see a lot of until week one. And that's why defenses can be even more ahead of the game, because they are supposed to be ready. They're supposed to create the chaos. And if Jesse Minter can put his defenses in the way that he expects, well, then the Ravens could get off to a pretty aggressive start on that side of it and be a top 5 unit. But to be a top 5 unit defensively for the Ravens, well, it certainly helped to have one specific all-pro back. And guys, news came out that Nnamdi Madubuike is on the PUP, but have no fear. He was cleared for football activities. So the PUP is the technicality. He could practice as early as next week if all goes well. Now, Bali, I ain't going to sit here and say that Madubuike is going to be ready week one. I'm not sitting here saying he's going to be ready in September. But there's a chance he might. There's a chance that he'd be ready sooner. And more importantly, it looks like he is going to continue his career. And if he is back out there, this Ravens defense can be extremely dangerous and go back to levels here that people forget that there was Aaron Donald. There were some other great names. Cam Hayward, fantastic player. Well, Madubuike for interior D lineman, he was on that short list of just how damn good he is.
Yeah, and I mean, kind of how you put it, I think the biggest news is he's, at least at this moment, going to continue his career, and that's the best news you could have gotten. We didn't know when or if we would ever see Nnamdi Madubuike back on the field. You hope that now means this season. At some point, it looks like things are trending in that direction. But just having Nnamdi back, I mean, it was up in the air if he would ever play another snap again. And as you mentioned, this is a guy, especially towards, in 2024, obviously last year only played 2 games, but in those 2 games, he was a game wrecker. He was exactly the same guy. Now, will he be that same guy? We don't know. But if he's 80% of that guy, 70% of that guy, with the D-line that they have now kind of built, obviously you got big Travis Jones there. You bring back Calais Campbell. You have edge rushers with Zion Young and Tavius Robinson kind of really helping be those interior 5-tech run stoppers. And then you had Trey Hendrickson. You have Mike Green. You have those guys that can get after the quarterback, which is something that Nnamdi specialized in. I think we saw an insane amount of drop-off in that defensive tackle production last year when Nnamdi was gone, and you realize the hole he left. This was the best news the Ravens could have gotten going into training camp. Getting him back in some capacity at some point this season is a win, and it makes the Baltimore Ravens a much better football team than they already were, with the simple addition of we didn't know what his status would be. If he is out there on the field, whether it be in September, November, or hell, he's in there December getting ready for a playoff run, that is a massive, massive win for the Baltimore Ravens.
I mean, you're essentially, in this case, you're talking about all these moves or players that you lost in free agency. You're gaining one back. That's the magnitude of what it was. There was no Madubuike that you were getting on that market this offseason to fill the void of what you needed. Now, Calais Campbell, excited for the big fella that just continues to battle father time. But Beeks, before all this, and still is in his prime. This is premier talent that can transform the Baltimore Ravens. Guys, I'm jacked up for this. Not only for that, like, football's back. I know we love our baseball. We're about to get into it. But football is about to be back again. It's going to be great. There's going to be storylines. People are going to be pissed off. The ironic thing is people don't live on the day-to-day of the games as much as they do for baseball, but it's still – you can. Like, the first 3 games, you can go, oh, they're going to figure it out, even if this team's pissing me off.
Yeah.
Orioles lose 3 in a row. The world might be ending, but that could be for a different topic. That's right. In a few moments here for our baseball fans. So if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We're live Monday through Friday right here on YouTube, X, and Facebook. But a couple news and notes around the NFL. Real quick, there's 3. Number 1, we have news right down the street here where the Commanders, which, again, a lot of people in this area, Commanders, Orioles, Ravens, a lot of connection there of fandom. Well, the Commanders fired their tight end coach, Ben Steele, after he is charged with a DWI. That's not good. That was a very quick, prompt, no comment from the team. Just wanted to make everyone aware of that. Rock, the one story with Eric Bieniemy is very troubling. Do you mind elaborating on that for a second?
Yeah, and it's very alarming. So this was reported earlier that the wife of Eric Bieniemy was shot by his 27-year-old son, Elijah, in Virginia, and the son was arrested, according to police and media reports. It's just a tragic situation. Wife's name is Mia Bieniemy. Just wanted to make her name known as well for people that don't know. And it's, something we're going to continue to keep an eye on, and a situation we're going to continue to monitor. This is terrible for the Bieniemy family. You just hope and wish that for the best out of this situation, and just thoughts and prayers to them. But I think that's all we have right now on that. If you guys see anything else, obviously let me know, but that's kind of what I'm pulling up there right now. They're saying that Coach Andy Reid said at a news conference at team practice on Monday that Mia is in stable condition. So that is obviously fantastic, but just for the family to have to deal with that situation, it sucks, plain and simple, and hoping for the best for them.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers. When things of these moments happen, for me, it's a pit in your stomach. You don't really have the words to say. The only thing that we can say right now is we're glad she is in stable condition, and we hope that continues to improve.
Yeah.
And the final notes, and again, it's not even on the football field. Kyle Shanahan was in a car accident 2 weeks ago. And so he is going to be hindered during training camp. Still trying to get all the reports out on that, but that popped up as they are.
Lots of injuries, one of them including 44 stitches to his face. Just
Sucks,
brutal.
man.
Brutal.
There's still a lot of unknowns in that, but those are the 3 things. And you don't want to see any of the news. You don't want to see any injury news on the field, and certainly you don't want to hear about these things off of the field.
Yeah.
But that's really all we have for that. The exciting part, though, for football is it's back. Rookies are having their first training camp. Everyone has expectations or hopes. You're telling me there's a chance? Well, I guess there is a chance when you kick off the NFL season. And by the way, might be talking about college football a little bit more this fall down at the University of Maryland and beyond here. We might have some more Football Friday content and more coming your way here as we are based in Maryland. So, hey, how you doing, Rock? Let's keep on rocking and rolling. So, guys, I think we do need to get in some baseball, a little bit of Set Hut. We'll get out of football, Red 7. I thought the Orioles were red hot until Boston. Thought we were going to see some things change against the Bravos. Well, that did not happen at all. And
Just the most awkward
Well
of
put,
silence.
Rip.
well, I mean, like, kind of that awkward silence is kind of how it felt when you watched again of if people are mad or they're upset or they're just like, damn, how does this happen? I think you do run out of certain adjectives when you watch for a while or nothing should surprise you.
Yeah.
That's actually how Camden Yards sounded when the O's loaded the bases, no outs in the 9th, and they get doubled up. Nothing.
Yeah,
Silence.
so
Shit, here we go again.
Just
This
the
sucks.
microcosm of the season. Yeah.
There
I was sitting on my couch watching, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
I was
like, what?
So I was replaying everything, and I want to go back and watch Kevin and Zach react. And I'm like, I'm sure, like, just curious.
Everybody will be calm in that.
Checking in on the Ripken media, shows and what's not. And Zach, you were in a tough state of mind. You were not well.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I have not heard you so. I've heard you pissed off, but like that was. Yeah, you held nothing. You held no emotion back.
It was the most frustrating. I have been an Oriole fan since I came out of the womb 26 years ago. That was one of the most, if not the most frustrating series I have ever watched of Orioles baseball, because it was against the third best team in baseball. And they should have swept. They should have swept that series.
Yeah.
They had every right to sweep that series. And we can sit here and talk about Gunner's disappointing season, all that. Can I blame Gunner for that? For what happened there? He put a beautiful swing on a ball, hit a shot down the line, but it was the microcosm of the season. It's a microcosm of everything since the second half of 2024, where you sit there and you're like, the O's are here. This is the team that we've been waiting for. And then whether it's by their own mistake, Austin Riley, Taylor Ward hits a sharp ground ball down the third base line. If it gets by Riley, game's over. Riley bobbles it. I'm like, oh, we're going to have a bang, bang play. I don't know if Ward was watching the ball, something, not even close. Then they don't walk Matt Olson. He gets his home run after the bad play by Jackson Holiday. You find a way to win game 2, and you can't get anything. I felt so bad for the pitching in all 3 games, because against that Braves lineup, you could not have asked for those pitchers to do anything else.
The starting rotation, which people have complained about, is the most solid part of this club right now.
Yeah,
Without a doubt.
This isn't even sugarcoating. Can we just say out loud, the starting pitching is the strength of this team?
Yes.
1,000,000%.
And it's not even a little bit. It's not like, well, they might be okay. I'm pretty sure they've been a top 5 starting ERA almost for 2 months.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't well, they got to put it together. No, it's literally every start. Dean Kramer's 6 earned runs the other day where he still went 6 innings, but that was by far the worst one. Shane Baz had a bad outing in the finale, and he gave up 1 earned run. And because of the error earlier on and just battling, he got pulled early at 90 pitches. That was bad. Brandon Young shoves. Kyle Bradish has been shoving. Trevor Rogers, we're going to have a different conversation if Trevor Rogers, should he be extended? It's not for right now. The answer is yes. Yes, he should be extended, because that is such a strength. Ironically, the lineup that we thought was going to be up here is not even close to that. I mean, guys, the Gunner play, you could say in different ways. Can he stay back and drive the ball the other way? Blah, blah, blah. You could say all that. He just put a solid swing on the ball right to Matt Olson. And Pete Alonso may or may not have been safe even on the review, but that's not the point here. How about the other point with this situation? Yeah. They were 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position on Sunday. So,
gotten there.
Like, you had your shots. And the Albies, olayed a ball right there, and it goes under his legs, and whammy, you got a shot. You got a great shot, and you work out of it. And to your point, Zach, this pitching staff, including the bullpen, was tremendous. And you felt there and go, damn, we can beat the best teams in baseball, but you got to finish. You got to close it out. And for me watching it, it's the story of someone needing to step up for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Beavers did that in game 2.
Yeah.
Great swing. I really liked him in the leadoff spot too, guys. I'll be honest. I really did.
Back there tonight.
The problem is that your RBI 2 and 3 guys on your roster are not available. That's Adley and Sam. I mean, Rock, unfortunately, Sam Huff, awesome dude. Sam Huff's got the stuff. Fortunately, he got DFA'd. Trump tried to battle. Basayo and Rutschman missing is critical.
Did you guys catch the challenge?
Well, I was just about to bring that up, Brad. We could, if the Orioles would have won the series, we could all be laughing about that moment.
I know.
Happy-go-lucky, funny, stupid, whatever you want to call it. But that's not even close to being the talking point right now.
I know.
It's, listen, it's Mouse Talk brings up a great point and kind of took the words right out of my mouth here. As far as good teams find a way to win, bad teams find a way to lose. The Orioles have competed and beaten some good teams this year. It's expected. You have 162 games of baseball, but they are not a consistent team, plain and simple. And they have found more ways to lose this season than they have found ways to win. And I'm not just talking about the record. I'm just talking about in ways that you can't even imagine. They shouldn't even have been in that situation. And the fact that they were, okay, Albie's booted the ball, gave him a chance, but talking about a team that just keeps finding ways to shoot themselves in the foot, and it's sickening for this fan base. And listen, I'm not in the mind of Gunnar Henderson. I know it's been a down year, but Gunnar Henderson goes up to the plate wanting to kill the ball. And again, I'm not a mental guy. I'm not Oz the mentalist that can go inside your head, but something tells me on that play, Gunnar Henderson's trying to absolutely kill the ball, hit a grand slam, and walk it off. Situational awareness, situational baseball. Okay, if he hits the ball an inch down the line, we're talking about the Orioles winning. Gunnar plays hero. Great.
Yeah.
He didn't do that. Okay. Pete Alonso gets doubled off. Who came up next? Mayo. The rest is history, and they couldn't find a way to win. It sucks. Do your best to fly the ball out. Honestly, put it deep enough in center. Easier said than done again. I know, Rip. I'm not a baseball player. I get it. But he went up there trying to kill the ball. It showed. And that's what happened as a result. Again, call it unlucky, call it what you want, but they got to find a way to win that game. And the 29 other teams in baseball, I don't care if it's the Rockies or the Angels, they would have found a way to win that game, bases loaded, no outs in the ninth, and the Orioles didn't.
Yeah, well, the one thing I want to just say with all of that, the swing itself, I want to break down the actual swing. Slider away from a lefty, you have to fight the sensation to stay on the ball as long as possible, right? So that's the goal with it. And sometimes when you get full and you don't pick it up, your thought as a lefty is you want to leak because you're drifting forward and then your shoulder comes out a little bit and then you just try to get the bat to it. But unfortunately, I'd also say at times when you're pressing and you're trying to do too much, you will try to get out in front. And one of the things for me with Gunnar, this is a different thing. His swing in Boston in game 1 of the series, he had a rocket off Chapman, lefty on left off the monster.
Yep.
Gunnar's strength is he has ridiculous power to all parts of the field. There's guys in MLB right now that have stupid juice to the other way. James Wood is number 1. That dude, I thought Gunnar had the stupid juice to left. It's James Wood. It's James Wood all the way with that. It is insane how he hits balls to left and left center so effortlessly. But Gunnar has that capability. So for whatever the reasons are, Rock, you're right. I think it's pressing is more so than it was him trying to kill the baseball there instead of trusting what makes you good. And the thing initially was Gunnar's opposite field power was so impressive. And now he's not even utilizing what's one of his strongest parts of his game. So regardless of it, you need your stars to step up. I still am in the books. Gunnar Henderson is a superstar player. In my mind, Zach, I know you won the rant that he's not a superstar player. The reality is he's not playing like a superstar. He's not playing like a star. So he's not doing it.
That's what's the most frustrating part about this ball club is like Orioles fans have seen a lot of bad teams with not good talent. And and like you could understand why there was losing seasons because the talent wasn't there. The most frustrating part is that the talent is absolutely there. And arguably we've talked about this season where this is probably the most talented lineup that we've seen since the last time they were actually winning playoff games. So like, to me, that's what makes it the most frustrating thing as a fan is that like the talent's there to actually go deep into the playoffs. They're just not playing like it. And that's what's the most frustrating.
You're not putting scrubs out on the field. You really aren't. Are they playing like it sometimes? The answer is yes. But you're not on paper. If you put that lineup out against, any other team against Major League Baseball, they should be able to compete. They're not right now. And it's sickening.
And I have two things real fast. First off, one statement, one question for you, Rip. I know I want to kind of put this to bed. First off, since, let me see the date, May 20th. So over 2 months now, 2 months and 7 days, the Baltimore Orioles starting rotation has the second best ERA in all of baseball.
Oh, there you go.
Only behind the Detroit Tigers. They are in front of the Seattle Mariners, the LA Dodgers, the Milwaukee Brewers, the Guardians, the Phillies, the Yankees. They actually have Yankees have a 3.94 ERA from their starters. Orioles have a 3.46 team ERA from their starters. Second thing I wanted to get to, Rip, have you ever in your baseball career at any level, really, especially in the pros, I guess, once you get to the minors, would a coach ever tell a player like Pete Alonso to not take a lead? Because I see all this thing of like, why was Pete even taking a lead there? Is that something that would even get brought? Because I just don't understand why someone like, where's the point in being like, don't take a lead? They're like, this was managerial and coaching malpractice that he was taking a lead. Have you ever seen that before?
Yeah. So, I mean, here's the thing. You can always nitpick a situation because the 1% of 1% things can happen. And when it does, you go, you got to be freaking kidding me. Now, in that happened in this scenario. So line drive right to Matt where he catches it and can look right down and put his foot down. It's bang, bang, and everything had to go right. Matt Olson had to catch it and have the coordination to put his foot on the base in that same fashion. Now, having said that, to your point, when it's bases juice and your run don't matter, and they're not trying to double you up at second, and you have a guy that's very pull heavy right now, you can make the point of you can literally be directly behind him, but you are not moving until the ball gets through. Like that is one angle of you are not moving until the ball gets through. But could you have emphasized that more? Sure. It's not something that you will necessarily prepare for all the time because it's such a small situation. I'm sure in the future now you could say, hey, dude, your run means jack shit. We got a pull lefty. They're not trying to turn two up the middle. Let's just stay put right here.
Yeah.
They might, like what you can say as well is like literally be wherever his ass is, where Olson's ass is, you're right there. Don't go further away from it. Like literally shadow him.
That's a play that you can't do anything about.
Behind him.
Yeah.
You just can't do anything about that.
Yeah. And so, like I said, it's a good question, Zach, but it's also, it was the shittiest of luck, but yes, there is a circumstance where you can say, I'm just not going to move until the ball gets through. You can do that, but also, again, I
just
keep
don't
in
know
mind too. Also caught it going back to the base.
Yeah.
Like
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yes. Yeah.
So I digress.
That is one play and nobody
It
should
sucked,
be
yeah, because literally any other result, that just sucks.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to know a positive here? You want to guess?
What's that?
The Orioles still gained a ground in the wild card.
I know, it's so great.
I hate this American League.
Like, here's the thing, guys. the Orioles are 2.5 out of the wild card because the Guardians got beat down by the Rays.
Yep.
The Red Sox kept winning. You're there. So it's a positive. It's like you're 4 games under, right? They're 4 games under at the moment.
Yep.
You're 4 under, and you're still right there. The problem is you're thinking of where could you have been if you had won some more games, but you're another hot streak away from one of these other teams from being way out of this. And the Tigers right now, guess what? They are a game back of the Orioles. So think about all the stuff that the Tigers just went through, and whammy, they're right here. So this series coming up tonight, a lot will be decided. I will be doing Baltimore baseball tonight for the Fan. So if you want to hear me talk more about this specific matchup tonight, I'll get into that. But guys, I get it. There's a lot of frustrations, but for the Orioles, as much as I know the fans don't want to hear it, by default, because of the American League, you are still in this thing, and be grateful and thankful you are, but time will run out if you don't make some adjustments soon. So if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We're live Monday through Friday right here on YouTube, X, and Facebook. Guys, we will be joined briefly by new Orioles Hall of Famer, Chris Davis. Well, I guess being inducted this upcoming weekend here in Baltimore. But we just had the induction of the National Baseball Hall of Fame this past weekend. Congratulations to Jeff Kent, to Carlos Beltran, to Andrew Jones. Guys, that was kind of all of our era. Zach's a little bit of a younger guy, kid.
Yeah.
Not mine.
But the Andrew Jones was one of the most fun outfielders to watch growing up. Highlight reel after highlight.
Just another mid-90s Brave going into the Hall of Fame.
Classic.
How many does that make now? Mid-90s Brave. I mean, that's got to be like 6 or 7 easy from that World Series roster, in fact.
Yeah, I mean, and just even like just dudes. So you had Glavine, Smoltz, Maddox,
Jones.
Mullen,
Chipper Jones.
4. This will be Andrew Jones. That's 5.
Yeah.
There's got to be someone else in this list that's in there.
David Justice was on that roster, but he wasn't.
90s legend.
Yeah. He's still 90s legend. Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
like they had teams.
That team was just, for those 5-6 years, just insane.
How they only won once is crazy, but
Yes.
14 straight division titles, I believe, was the number for them.
It's
Was
crazy.
insane.
Yeah.
The other part, then Jeff Kent, one of the best offensive second baseman the game's ever seen. Then Carlos Beltran, one of the best switch hitting outfielders.
Yeah.
One of the best switch hitters, period.
Yeah, Fred McGriff. Yeah, that was another one.
Those were loaded squads.
I just cannot believe those teams, dude.
And we hope to do more up at the National Baseball Hall of Fame as we move forward. Why? Because it is a great moment for baseball players. It's a great moment for the sport, and you get to relive, reminisce, and talk about so many great things that people will remember. And we talked about in those moments, those are 3 players that are going in that we remember growing up. And that's the beauty, I think, of this game of baseball more than anything else is the history that goes along with it. You know, it gets remembered. That's no knock to the other pro Hall of Fames and all of that. I love football and basketball and all of the other ones. Maybe I'll be a little bit more biased, but I've really appreciated since we got a chance to talk to so many of these people about their journeys and stories, and I'm glad that they're finally able to say that they were able to do that. So congratulations again to Jeff Kent, Carlos Beltran, and Andrew Jones. But then we'll have some more congratulations that are in order here this upcoming weekend here in Baltimore. And we know with all cities, Baltimore, how much they care about the Orioles is so deep-rooted. 1954, the team came to Baltimore, and it has had one of the most richest histories in Major League Baseball. Maybe not the results that they have wanted over the years, but, man, they've had some great players that have been able to rock on through. So I'm excited for all this. I think if we're ready, is Crush, you ready? Chris, you good back there? Can you give me a thumbs up when you're ready to rock and roll? Hell yeah. Well, to add into that history book here in Baltimore, we get the chance to see it this Saturday as one of the big boppers here in the 2010s. part of the renaissance, I think, of the Baltimore Orioles and brought that life back to the city that was dormant for really 15 years. Let's bring on future Orioles Hall of Famer, because technically still future. Let's bring on Chris Davis. Chris, what's going on?
How you guys doing?
I'm doing well. I'm trying to remember to go back to it. Was it 6-7 years ago the last time I saw you down in Sarasota?
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. It's been a minute, but man, I appreciate you guys having me on. It's fun to get on here and catch the tail end of that conversation y'all were having. How loaded were those Braves teams in the 90s?
Oh my God, dude.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, do you have maybe some of the players you watched growing up? We're talking about with the Braves being stacked, but there's anyone that stood out in your mind?
I mean, I grew up a Rangers fan, so Nolan Ryan was, my favorite guy watching. Pudge, I caught when I was little. But I just remember how dominant those Braves teams were. It was like every year they were in the postseason, and then I saw a cool picture of Glavine, Smoltz, Maddox, Andrew Jones. I can't remember, all sitting at the table. I'm like, good grief, man, how did they lose? Like, how did they lose ever? But yeah, I was a Rangers fan, man, and obviously didn't know a ton about the Orioles other than Cal Ripken Jr. never took a day off. Brady Anderson had the sweetest sideburns ever, and Camden looked like an amazing place to try to hit off. So it was cool to be a part of it and to get traded up there and learn a lot more about the history, and to really be a part of an organization that had such a great fan base and such a rich history was just, man, it was an honor.
It was, and it was an honor for all Birdland to have you be a part of it. And we'll have some fun questions towards the end since we got going already. I want to take us back to the journey here. You being traded to Baltimore. This was a great opportunity for you, and actually got a text from Andy McPhail about the situation specifically to bring you over here, and just saying no available spot for you. And you were a productive guy that was playing multiple positions.
Yeah.
And you proved that you deserve more big league time.
Mm-hmm.
And you just needed an opportunity. So can we walk back to that moment of what it was like in your mind being traded to Baltimore?
Yeah, I was super relieved and excited. And I, to this day, still keep in contact a little bit with John Daniels and have just always told him how grateful I was, because in that position that I was in, I was out of options with the Rangers, and I had come up and down in 2011, but I hadn't really played. And it was the first time that I had been in the big leagues and not been an everyday player. So I was ready to get out of there. And I'm thankful that JD pulled the trigger on the trade, because he could have sat on me the rest of the year and then done the whole thing the next year coming into spring training. So I was thankful. And Andy, I think I was the last trade that he made before he left. But I got a chance to meet him, obviously talk to him and tell him how grateful I was. I just wanted to play every day. You know how the journey goes. Like, once you get to a position where you feel like you've kind of accomplished everything you can at that level, you want to try to get into the big leagues. And I was willing to do anything to play any position. So to get traded to the Orioles and know that I was going to have that opportunity, man, it was a huge blessing. And I'm just so glad it worked out.
It did. And honestly, at the time, people were wondering what's going to be this big bat coming to Baltimore, still trying to figure it out. Because I'll be honest, that's what happens with trades, right? You sit there and go, well, damn, I've heard some things about this, but this guy, yeah, he's been up and down. What if he's just a suspect and not a prospect? That was what I grew up with, that phrase. And clearly we found out that you were bringing it to Baltimore when you got your shot. And I also love the fact that you came over, same thing with Tommy Hunter coming over, correct?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah. And we came together.
You both have had quite a journey together.
We have. That's the reason he's introducing me this weekend. We were traded, and Tommy was in a much different position than I was in. He started, I can't remember if it was Game 4, Game 5 of the World Series the year before. So I think Tommy was really caught off guard, because I think that he thought he was more in the mix than I was. It was kind of rumored in spring training that I was going to get traded. There were some rumors that I was going to go to San Diego for Heath Bell, but I think I was just kind of counting the days, and I don't think Tommy felt like he was in that same position. But he came he came over, man, and Tommy was huge for us, man, at the back end of the bullpen for several years on those good Orioles teams. So I'm proud of him for making the most of his situation. But yeah, man, I was ready to get out of there. I felt like I had burned every card that I could possibly burn with them. Just needed a fresh start, to be honest with you.
Oh, safe to say, you got the fresh start.
Yeah.
And you know, I always love the inner workings of how it goes. So if you don't mind even walking through, you had confidence.
Mm-hmm.
You had been up in the big leagues, had struggles, trying to figure out if you could be an everyday player, but you believed that you did and you could be. When did it click for you in Baltimore that you could become this all-star powerhouse? You know, can you walk me a little bit in that process?
Yeah, it was really 2012, Ryan. I mean, in 2011, I got traded over, and when you get traded over in the middle of the season, it's just a weird transition because you're trying to fit in with the guys, but you're also trying to establish the fact that you belong there. To your point about being a suspect or prospect, I was trying to prove that I wasn't a suspect, and I got hurt right after I got traded over there and had to go on the IL, DL, whatever they're calling it now.
Yeah.
Which was not ideal. So I went down to Sarasota for a few days or a couple of weeks and then came back. But it wasn't really until I think 2012, I got off to a hot start that season. I remember a conversation with Buck, and I can't remember if it was 11 or 12, but I sat down in his office and I said, you know, I need you to be honest with me. That's all I need. I don't need you to tell me I'm great if you think I'm terrible. I don't need you to tell me I'm terrible if I'm not getting the opportunity. I just need you to be honest with me. And he told me something that I remember to this day. He said, you're going to get an opportunity to play, but it's not an open-ended ticket. You're going to have to take advantage of this and you're going to have to produce. And I was like, that's all I needed to hear. And so I think really in 2012, getting off to a hot start, hitting some home runs early. I led the team in home runs and RBIs that year. That was a big deal to me. I think I hit like 270, but I did it over a full season. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. I had confidence. To your point, I had confidence, but you know how it is, man. It's a hard game, and your confidence can waver at times, especially if you're struggling. So that really, after that season, I felt like, okay, now I've proven that I can do it for a full season. Now I got to go do it again. So that's kind of really the moment I think that it all clicked for me.
Yeah, in that 2012 season, yeah, not too bad for you. Only 33 home runs. Yeah. Next year was pretty damn good too.
Yeah.
Still to this day, a record for Orioles home runs, single season leader, 53 jacks, 138 ribbies, finished third in the MVP that year, Silver Slugger All-Star. Yeah, damn, I think you did sort through that. And, you know, that was a special time. And I think why I'm so happy for you and your family, and this is, I think, the other part of the game. You know, I know the struggles down the stretch, right? And I know that's not how you wanted it to be. You know, you mentioned struggles early in your career. You come on the scene, you help bring this passion back to Baltimore. You know, you and the rest of the team, and with Buck, and you get rewarded for it, which you should have, because you were freaking killing it. You were a huge part of it. But I know the struggles were hard. For the struggles that get to the big leagues, to the struggles at the end, for those that don't get that, is there a way that you could explain the difference between the two?
Yeah, I think struggling at the beginning when you're still trying to prove yourself, there's still something that motivates you to go out there and do it every day and really try to figure it out. And I think once you figure it out and you have success, the goal is to sustain that success. And that to me was the hardest part because of injuries and just your body breaks down. And I think that was really what happened towards the end of my career. I continued to play when I probably shouldn't have. I always thought the greatest thing a player has is availability. And I think you probably know that better than most people. But there's also another side that you have to take care of your body. And when you start to see things go south and you just try to put a Band-Aid on it, or you try to play through it, and it doesn't work well. And that's why I have no problem talking about it. I mean, it sucked. Now, I told some other guys this morning that I was talking with that there was a point in 2019 when I was sitting in the dugout in the Nationals in DC. I was sitting in the visiting dugout, and I took my hat off and my hair was falling out of my head. Like, I was stressed out, and I always tried to keep up a front and not act like it affected me. But man, it tore me up, dude. You know how hard the game is, man. It's so hard. And when you can be elite and perform at a high level for several years, and then it just leaves, it's super frustrating and it's confusing. And so I think the difference really was just, I knew that I could have success, and I knew that I had had success. I didn't know how to get back to it. And so I think it was so much more frustrating on the backside than it was on the beginning, because I knew that I had the ability to compete at the big league level, but I just didn't know if I was going to get that opportunity until I was traded to Baltimore. So I think the frustration was really on the backside of it, just not being able to make the adjustment.
So for those that are trying to learn and understand how hard this game is, you say down the stretch, the mental battle was harder than the physical?
100%. Because in my mind, I still thought that I could keep going. And I started noticing some things. The Orioles sent me out to TPI, which is the Titleist Institute in San Diego. And I worked with Dr. Greg Rose during the 18 season, actually in the middle of the season. We had a day off and I flew out there, and I started to tap into some of the newer technology that I think some teams were using. I think the Dodgers and the Angels were using it out there. And they put together a program to kind of help me get back to neutral. But one of the things that he said to me is, are you a one rep guy or a one more rep guy? And I'm like, dude, I'm a one more rep guy. Like, I take a good swing, and that's kind of been my Achilles heel my whole life. I take a good swing, I want to take 10 more, instead of just focusing on the process and trusting the process and understanding that it's not about just working until your hands bleed. You have to have some control on both sides of that. So, yeah, I mean, the mental side of it was extremely challenging, because I couldn't escape, man. Like, you know how it is. Like, when you have given yourself to the sport and you reach the highest level, you have to stay in a certain headspace to be able to compete with the best in the world day in and day out. And so you have to give it your all. I mean, everything else takes a back seat to your career. And so it was hard for me to turn it off, and I didn't handle it well, man. But I'm thankful for the journey that I went through, for sure.
Well, I think all of us would say, when you go through struggles, I look back even on my side of playing, I was in my head way too much. Might have been with my expectations for myself, or what I think I had to play up to. And I tell people all the time in this next generation, you know, you're going to have your physical talent, and maybe you might have your limits, but the mental side for you is what's going to help determine so much more. And I always hated when people go out and say, well, he just can't figure it out. He's a professional. This is how hard it is.
Yeah.
And if you get into a place, which I believe you're talking about, that you got into, it's hard enough going against guys that have the nastiest shit in the game.
Yeah.
And the other hard part is you have to battle yourself every day.
Yeah.
And I know how much you care about winning and being a part of it. And I think that's why it hurt me watching what you had to go through.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. I think Buck and I had a conversation when we were in Boston, their last 2018, before the rebuild and all that stuff. And he straight up told me, he's like, man, it's hard to watch, dude, because I care about you. And I'm like, I get it, man. I'm going to figure it out. You know, like, I just was so hopeful that I could figure it out. And he's like, all right. And to his credit, and I credit Buck for a lot of things, because he was honest with me and he was up front. And I think he understood early on that I could take honesty, even if it was negative. But he stuck with me, man. And he threw me in there when I probably shouldn't have been in there, to be honest with you, Ryan. But yeah, and I talk to guys about the mental side of it all the time. I've hit with high school and college kids now during the summer, and coaching during the school year. But I tell them that all the time. You almost have to get to a point sometimes where you're like, I'm over it. I'm over it. Like, and almost not care it because you care so much, if that makes sense. I mean, I know you understand it, but for those people that didn't enjoy the journey, it's hard. It's hard, man. And it's just, guys don't know how to cope as well today either. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get back into the game at some capacity is I started hearing these stories about guys like trying to blow their heads off or trying to, because they struggle so much. I mean, Drew Robinson was a big prospect with the Rangers, his stories on ESPN. I'm like, dude, guys need help, man. They need guys like you and I that are talking about it and that can be open and be honest and know that other guys have been on the journey and gone through the same struggles, man.
I want to ask you about the great moments that you've had in Baltimore, but I want to finish this part of the conversation because I think it's so important. When did you feel that you could make this impact as a coach? Because I know that probably wasn't on your radar, and I'm assuming because of your experiences and having some time to really take it all in, that's really led to this.
Yeah, it has. And you're exactly right. As soon as I retired, I wanted to get as far away from the game of baseball as possible. And not because of the people or anything like that. It was just having struggled for so long. I was like, man, I need to break up with baseball for a little bit. But I think really, I would say probably 2 or 3 years afterwards, I was having a conversation with Matt Wieters about some of the stuff that we're talking about. And I knew he was working at Georgia Tech, and some of the guys that I'd played with that I was close with had retired and kind of got back in. It was really Brad Hopp who played in the big leagues with the Rockies and a couple other teams. His son is on our high school team. He was the one who asked me to come out and help. And I was like, man, I don't know, I don't know if I have much to offer. And he's like, CD, just come out here and get around it. And I mean, I love the game of baseball. Like, I wouldn't have been able to do it and play it for as long as I did if I didn't love it. And so I think it was a couple years really after I retired that I was like, man, I got to get back in it. And I mean, it's what I know. I've known it's not who I am, but it's what I did for the majority of my life. And I still love the game. So I want to help that next generation of players, come into their own and hopefully not struggle like I did.
Well, what worked for you when you went well? And then that last thing I promised before, then we got to talk about the celebration here.
Yeah.
It's going to be a celebration, but when it went well, because in today's day, there's a lot of guys that are swinging hard and trying to put the ball in the seats. And hell, you put the ball in the seats 53 times in the season. You had just under 300 jacks for your career. You knew how to hit the long ball.
Yeah.
What was your thing when you were going well?
I think my thing was really not overthinking it. To your point about getting in your head earlier, I when I was free and I was clear-headed and just focused on my job, I was a lot better of a baseball player. When I tried to put the team on my back and do everybody's job, I turned into a terrible baseball player. I think one of the things that I really want to make sure that I say is I was not alone in those years that we were really good and the years that I was successful. I had a ton of help from my teammates. I mean, Manny was there, Jonesy was there, Cakes was there. Like so many guys in front of me in the lineup were on base when I came up. And to me, that made the game easier because it gave me a plan. If you know what I'm saying. I know you know what I'm saying, but if I got a runner on second base or third base with less than 2 outs, like I'm going to get him over or get him in. And so, the funny thing about 13 was every time I came up those first 3 or 4 games, there was somebody on base and I was like, all right, just do your job. And I happened to be hitting home runs. Like I was locked in, man. The last at bat in spring training against Hefner, the righty from the Mets, I went oppo field at Ed Smith Stadium, and I was like, I'm locked in. And we went to Tampa 2 days later. So I was a streaky hitter. I mean, that's no secret. When I was hot, man, it was a lot of fun. When I was cold, it sucked.
Go up. Did I lose you?
Nope. No.
You there?
Well,
Chris, you there?
I can
Yeah, I'm
see
here.
you.
Oh, okay, cool. I couldn't hear you for a second.
Yeah. We're good. We're good.
Are you good? Cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was freezing out for a second.
You're good.
My bad. Shit. Well, I'm glad.
I'm long-winded, so I'll just be like, the end. And then you know.
That's all right, because Ryan's long-winded too.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
And see, hey, yes, I'm aware. I'm aware of the highs. We know about the lows. We've talked about it. I would have been curious too, CD, if we'd saw you in, without the shift nowadays, because I thought that.
I literally told somebody the other day, I'm like, I was our players rep for years. And so I was on all these calls and these Zooms where it's like, we're talking about changing the rules. And I'm like, can we freaking take the shift away? Nobody else is voting for this except for me. And then the year after I retire, they take it. I'm like, well, good. You're welcome, fellas. You're welcome. I didn't bunt for you guys.
I knew you would have a pretty colorful response to that. Well, I thought you felt a certain way about it, but I digress.
I have a story for you, and
Please.
this is when it really, really started to piss me off. We're playing the Rangers, so there's already added incentive, to stick it to them. And I hit a line drive over Mitch Moreland's head into right field, Ryan. I hit a line drive into right field, and I'm rounding first. And as I start my bubble, I see Ruzhnet Odor catch it at his freaking chest. And I couldn't see him because he's tiny. He's 6 inches shorter than Mitch, and he was standing behind him. And I'm like, what in the hell are we doing? Like, this is not baseball. That's a base hit. Like, and that's when I'm like, my career's over. It's over. Now I have to hit it out every time, and that is not a good place for me to be.
Oh my God! You know what? Yeah, we can say you were such an integral part of the shift being banned. So
yeah, thank you for that.
Well, hey, you know what? I hate it for you.
Yeah.
But you did have some awesome moments. And here we are. Like, this weekend's we're 5 days away, right? Until the induction. Has it hit you yet that you're going in to the Orioles Hall of Fame with this great group?
Yeah. It hasn't set in yet. I think it will once I get up there, and we're going to get there a few days early. We've got some stuff that we want to do, outside of the ceremonies and stuff like that. But I think once I get up there, once I get to the stadium, once I start getting around the guys and start to see some of my old teammates, I think it'll start to set in. It has, it was a big deal to me. This is a big deal to me. So when I got the call from Bill, I was actually standing on a softball field coaching my daughters, and I saw Bill Stetka's name, and I'm like, he's the Hall of Fame guy. And I'm like, here we go. And I answered, and then my wife was like, did you have a phone call? And I'm like, it was Bill. And she's like, who's Bill? And I'm like, come on. Like, she's like, there's a softball game. It's a scrimmage. They're 8. It's fine. And so I called him back later that night, and I was relieved, man, because there were some good years, but like the end of my career was tough, man. So I really didn't know if it was going to happen. And so I think I was definitely relieved. It's obviously a huge honor, man. There's some ridiculously talented names in that Hall of Fame. I mean, it's not no knock on any other team, but like, this is a loaded Hall of Fame. So to be a part of it is a huge honor, man. It's a huge honor.
And you deserve it. I think that was the part I hope that you would get the chance, and I hope that you realize, this game's really damn hard.
Yeah.
You're going to have brilliant moments. You're going to have moments where the shift's going to piss you off, and then you're just going to flat out suck. That's just the way it goes. But you were such a big part of success on the field here in Baltimore. And another part I wanted to shed light on was, you mentioned your wife. You and your wife's involvement with, I believe, it was the University of Maryland Children's Hospital.
Correct.
Like, for those that don't know more about that, you have been a part of that for years, which I think is so great. Do you mind just touching on the impact of those programs there here in Baltimore?
Yeah. So, and I really appreciate you bringing it up because it is something that means a great deal to us. One of the things when Jill and I were traded up to Baltimore that we sat down and talked about, and this is before we had kids, was we want to get involved. Like we want to get involved. We want to be a part of the community. It's important to me. I think it should be important to players in the game to use the platform that you have. And there's no better place to start than in your city's, your team's hometown. So for me, it was where can I find opportunities? And we did Christian Youth Athletics. We did Casey Cares. We did a number of things. I think Baltimore Food Bank. Jill did that with some of the Ravens' wives. We did a number of things, but it was B-Rob. It was Brian Roberts who introduced me to the Children's Hospital. And man, I just like my wife's got a nursing background. I love kids. It's really hard to go in there and be around those kids and those families and not just fall in love with them and want to do anything you can to help them out. So we dove in head first. That's one of the reasons that we're going up there early, so we can go see them and get an update with some of the doctors. But it just seemed like a no-brainer, and I always wanted to get back, man, because you said it earlier. Baltimore's a special place, man. The community is a special place, and I know you've lived your whole life around it, but being from East Texas and being from a smaller town, I didn't really know what to expect when I was traded to Baltimore. And the city, the people, the fans, they embraced me and my family, and they didn't have to, man. Like they could have just, that turned a cold shoulder or whatever. But Jill tells a cool story about after I got traded. She was in the gift shop at the stadium at Camden, and one of the cashiers said, "Are you a player's wife?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm Chris Davis's wife." And a fan was in the store, and she heard, or I think it was the older man, heard it, and he goes, "You're Chris Davis's wife?" And she was like, "Yes, sir." And he said, "Man, we're really excited about him. Like, we're really excited about him." And it was like, it's a silly story, but to me, I'm like, you want to be wanted as a player. Like, you want to be wanted, and that's one of the things that I love about Baltimore is they can get on you a little bit, but you're theirs and they have your back. And so we kind of looked at each other and we're like, how do we get involved? And so we just jumped in head first. And I'm hoping to have a conversation with some of the guys that are on the team while I'm there and see if they want to go to the hospital. We tried to do it when I was still playing, but as you know, it was a younger team. There weren't a lot of guys that were under contract, and then we had to deal with the whole COVID thing, which was a circus. But I mean, it's, you only get a certain amount of time in that spotlight, and you have so many resources. I don't understand why guys don't do more sometimes, but I'm super thankful for the University of Maryland Children's Hospital, their pediatric cardiovascular program, and just the amazing people that are there.
This is why you're still loved here so much. Besides the fact that you were hitting the shit out of the ball, and I still believe with the home run derby balls that they had this past derby, if they had one in Baltimore, you are no doubt hitting the warehouse.
Oh my gosh.
I swear you would. I was watching those balls in Philly.
No way they weren't juiced.
Oh. I didn't watch it this year. I don't remember what we were doing, but I didn't see it, but I heard it was nuts.
Oh, the balls were jumping.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, that's a miss hit 450. And that's eventually down the road. We'll maybe see it at Camden Yards. But the point being here is Baltimore understands the people that the players that care about Baltimore.
Right.
And you're right. That's exactly how it is. It's this community special, and your on the field performance is something that you're going to be remembered for in Orioles history, but what you continue to do in the community is what's going to live on as a legacy here forever. So I love it. It's amazing. Now for the fun parts here, Chris. You've had a lot of moments here in Baltimore. You got to give me a couple of your favorites specifically.
Okay, I got some for you. The Grand Slam opening day 2013 off of Tyler Robertson is probably the one that sticks out the most, because I'd gotten a little taste of like kind of the energy in the stadium when it's packed. The year before when we were playing the Yankees in the ALDS and I was playing right field, and I was like, and you have to remember, I came from a World Series team the year before. So I knew what the in playoff environment felt like, but I didn't know what it felt like in Baltimore. And so I got a little taste of that in 2012. And it almost felt the same way. You know what opening day is like in Baltimore. It's nuts, man. It's packed. Everybody's there. The weather's awesome. We started the season out really well. I was super hot. That was probably the one that I remember the most. And what I remember the most is the sound of the crowd from between first and second. And I got chills on my arm. And then hitting third, hitting home, and being like, all right, well, we're up now. And I went into the video room and I watched the video, and I looked at Nate McLaughlin. He's standing on third base. As soon as I hit it, he turns around and he puts his hands on his head and he goes, "Oh my God." And I was thinking the same thing when I hit it. I was like, but that was probably the coolest moment for me. 2012 pitching in Boston was awesome. I never thought I'd pitch in the big leagues, and I for dang sure didn't think I'd get a win in the big leagues. That was awesome because going into the day, I think I was hitting 330, and we all know I was 0 for 8 with 5 strikeouts, and I was DHing, and it was like, yeah. And I'm like, man, I was having such a good season, and I'm like, my batting average dropped down to like 280, and I'm like, God, you know. And then Bucks, I'm sitting in the dugout, and I actually went back to the dugout, went back after one at bat, and I was like, somebody please hit a home run so I don't have to go up to the plate again. And like, it was late in the game, and like a few guys laughed, but not really many guys. So I was like, sometimes you say too much. That might have been one of those times. But I remember sitting on the bench, and Buck looked over his shoulder, and like, we all know Buck, man. Like he's always thinking about something. And I'm like, what does he got for me? You know? And he's like, hey, if we get out of this inning, you need to go down to the bullpen. And I was like, I'm not going to say what I thought in my head because it's a lot of profanity, but I was like, you're right, I am. And so I went down there, and it's such a long run in Fenway because it's all the way down behind the right field fence. And I went down there, and Bill Castro was our bullpen coach. And he's like, well, what do you got? And I was like, I mean, I pitched in college, so clearly I can pitch in the big leagues. And that was 6 years ago. So, and I haven't done it since. And I wasn't that good in college, so this will be a breeze. And I was like, well, my ball kind of sinks because I throw 3/4. And he's like, all right. And I throw it, and he's like, okay. And then he's like, what else you got? And I had a terrible slider. The barrel seeker is what I called it. And I threw it, and it just spun. And he goes, that's horseshit. And I was like, okay. And he goes, what else you got? And I said, I can throw a split. And so I throw a split, and he goes, all right, kid, go get him. And I'm like, that's it? I threw like 6 pitches, dude. He's like, yeah, the inning's starting, go get him. And I'm like, all right, time to dominate. So I run out there. And this is all false confidence. This is not me actually thinking that I have no clue what's going to happen. I'm like, this could either be the worst day historically in my career in baseball, or this could be magical. I don't know what's going to happen. So I went out there and I warm up, and of course Weedy's catching because he caught every inning. And I throw a couple of sliders, and he comes to the mound, and he's like, I'm like, hey, let's just go 1-2. I'm not going to throw the slider. It's not really doing anything. And he's like, okay. And he just walks back. I'm like, why did he laugh, man? I was being serious. And I didn't know that he already knew that this could potentially go very bad. And so the one thing I wanted to do was see if I could still hit 90. So, of course, what did I do? I put all my eggs in one basket and let it rip on the first pitch. And I think I hit 93, and it went down from there. But I knew if I could throw strikes and I could try to get ground balls, I had a solid defense. So I literally was just like, and I mean, I was still young and stupid too. So there's probably a part of me that thought like, yeah, I can do this. But I was like, make sure you keep your front side close, you know, like trying to remember the stuff that my pitching coach and cheerleading coach told me. And then Ryan Sweeney almost takes my face off with a comebacker that I almost caught. And I'm like, okay, you're still in the big leagues. Now you need to like not die. So that was probably one of my favorites. I mean, I hit a walk-off against Tampa in 15, and there was a guy sleeping in the right center field bleachers or the seats, and nobody knew about it until I hit the home run under the scoreboard because he sat up. That was kind of funny, and it was a walk-off. The walk-offs are always fun. Broken bat home run that almost killed Steve Pearce in I guess that was 2012. I hit a ball and my bat literally helicoptered into the dugout, and Steve Pearce had to duck, and it went out into the right field seats. I was like, that's pretty cool. I've never done that before. And it flustered Pierce, who he was just a fun guy to mess with, anyways.
Dude, the way that you looked at the handle when it broke, like that's imprinted in my mind from
like, who made this bat? You know, like, what is this Louisville Slugger?
Good wood.
Yeah. It was crazy, man. Obviously I had a lot of power, but there were some times where I hit the home run against Pat Venditti where I literally assed out one-handed. I hear he tore up the video room on the visitor side after that because he just couldn't. And I'm like, I don't know either, dude. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get that going. And there was some stupid stuff. I had a one-hand home run in Oakland against Sean Doolittle. I mean, I don't want to sit here and talk about myself for the next hour.
Well, I mean, you could. This is your week. You know, hell, you could come on and tell all the stories you want. You did that, that was the thing. We call it stupid pop, country strong, whatever it is.
Yeah,
you just had that. It was just at times you'd be closed off and swinging. I'm trying to get up, but it'd be you're going, and then you just open up, and you'd be like, okay, cool,
gone.
Oh, that's gone. Oh, he didn't hit that well. Oh, there it goes.
I will say this too: there was no hype man for Chris Davis than Joe Angel. That guy was the ultimate hype man.
Yeah,
every time ball went out of the yard.
Yeah. I love Gary too, man. I love Gary Thorne. He's
same.
I just do. I walked in. I don't even remember where we were, but I walked into the elevator right after we got traded. We were on the road somewhere, and it was just him in there. And Gary's not a big dude, but he goes, "How you doing, Chris?" And I was like, "Holy crap, dude!" He's like, the acoustics in this elevator are unbelievable." And then I realized that's his voice. That's his voice all the time. I'm like, that would be so cool to have it. So I loved hearing Gary Thorne, Joe Angel. Some of my best memories are some of the plays Manny made, some of the stuff we did defensively. I've still got a trophy that Bobby Dickerson, who was our third base coach and our infield coach, had made, that we still hold the season record for team fielding percentage. And I'm like some of the stuff Jonesy did, some of the stuff Nick did, Weedy. I mean, all the Gold Glovers, Manny won the platinum, JJ. I mean, it was I don't know how other teams came in there and looked at our lineup and then looked at our defense and were like, yeah, we got a shot today. You know, because for a few years I felt like if you're stepping on the field, we're gonna take it from you easily. Sometimes easily.
Well, I mean, that defense was nasty. You know,
best in the league.
Yeah, I mean, it just at one point, it was Flash was the utility.
Yeah.
Then Machado, Hardy, Scope.
Yep. Who's 6'4", 230 pounds as a second baseman.
Yeah.
Never moved his feet. Never moved his feet on a double play. And I'm like, bro, you got to flip your feet, man. And he's like, no, I don't care. They can slide into me. And I'm like, looking at his legs, I'm like, yeah, you're probably good. Weeders, unit. Dude, one of the guys that I played against, his name's Cody Allen. He lives around here. Made his debut against us in Cleveland. And he's like, I'm rolling out to the bullpen and y'all are on the line. And he's like, y'all look like a bunch of professional wrestlers, dude. And I'm like, well, Jonesy's 6'3", I'm 6'4", Nicky's 6'1", 6'2", Scope's 6'4", JJ's 6'1", 6'2", Manny's 6'3", Weedy's 6'6". And then that's not even talking about our bullpen. Jim Johnson's 6'6", Tommy Hunter's 6'3", Darren O'Day's 6'. Like, we just had monsters everywhere. And I was like, yeah. I mean, it was good. When it was good, it was good.
Had monsters. You had monsters, and then Buck was 5'9".
Yeah.
I just looked it up to be sure real quickly. I'm like, yeah, dude, everyone's just huge. And then
Buck.
And then there's Buck.
Well, dude, every time there's a mound visit, it was just the most hilarious thing ever.
Yeah.
It was a great shot. You know, I'm going to look at a photo of that. If you guys all on the mound and Buck's a little bit, love Buck, a little bit height challenge there.
Yeah.
Hey, Gary Thorne also not the tallest of people.
Yeah.
I got to ask, did you hear Gary Thorne calling the game when there was no fans in the stands?
Yes.
Did you hear him?
when the Freddie during the Freddie Gray stuff.
Yeah, like no fans in the stands, and then that's where you caught the ball and you just chucked it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were there. Like, I mean, that was such a hard time for the city of Baltimore. So it's we're gonna play, and the cool thing, Ryan, about that game was they still showed up outside the gates. Like, they wouldn't open the gates and let them in. But I hit a home run early on off Samardzija. And as I was rounding second base, I heard the fans, and I was like, oh, I knew you guys would show up, but yeah, I think Jerry Davis was the home plate umpire in that game. And like the first strike, he was like, ha! And I'm like, Jerry, there's nobody here, bro. And he's like, sorry, city. I'm like, settle down. You could hear the conversations in the other dugouts. It was kind of weird. But yeah, I ended up seeing the video of Caleb signing fake autograph, doing Caleb things, and I'm like, okay, but yeah, it was like he sounded like he was calling the Masters at one point. It was wild, man. I didn't ever think we would do that again, and then COVID hit, and I'm like, this is so bad
for different reasons. Yeah,
for so many different reasons.
Yeah, Rock was wondering, did you intentionally, or was it just by habit? I'm like, dude, he 100% intentionally just.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Just for the fans.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and it's like, you know how it is, dude. It's like we play the game because we love it, but the fans really they add another element to the game that you just don't get. And especially if you have a good fan base that really cares about your players. And I'm like, maybe somebody from Stadium Ops will leave that, and somebody will some kid will walk up and be like, hey, there's football. I don't know. But trying to make light of a heavy situation. And yeah, it was I forgot about that, man. I forgot about that.
It was unique circumstances, not what we wanted, but it still goes down as one of those moments watching it. You guys did you made it entertaining for those that wanted to be there and to watch it. And it was tremendous from it. You mentioned a lot of Buck stories. Do you have a favorite Buck story that doesn't have to do with baseball, or maybe it does?
Man, I have so many Buck stories. Trying to think. I have a story that I could tell you.
Okay, you can tell me later. You can tell me later then.
A lot of those stories, but he was very, very good about making the right comment at the right time. That's how I'm going to say that. And kind of ruffling your feathers, but not doing it in a way to where you just wanted to take his head off. Like he would sometimes on mound visits, like we all know, like we can see what's happening. We're all out there together. We're all behind you, Jerry, whoever's pitching, whatever his name is. Some days it's just not your day. And some of the stuff that would come out of his mouth as the guy's walking away, Weedy would just look at me and just go, oh. I'm just like, yeah, we were all thinking it, man. I know he said it, but we were all thinking it. I just used to love how pissed off Buck used to get when we used to play the Yankees or go to New York. I loved wearing his hand out when I hit a home run. I had a good stretch for a while to where I was like not trying to hurt him, but like definitely not trying to hurt him.
Yeah.
And then John Russell came up to me one day and he's like, he loves that shit. And I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I do. That's why I do it. But he was good, and he was just so good about staying out of our way. Like he knew what we needed, and he didn't try to overstep his boundaries. I think the fact that he let us police ourselves, and we did for the most part, but we had a bunch of good dudes, man. I said that this morning on the show that I was on. We had some good dudes, man. Like Jonesy was a superstar, but he didn't act like a superstar. Like we had some guys that were great players, Manny, but they didn't act like that. Like we enjoyed being around each other, and we really enjoyed playing the game together. And I think that made a big difference. I think it made it a lot easier on Buck too, and the fact that we were good. I mean, when you're winning, that cures a lot of things. But yeah, I've got a lot of Buck stories, but I can't tell you a lot.
Is there a phrase that I could throw out there that because we might have him on later this week?
He's a regular on the show.
Yeah. So, I mean, is there something?
Yeah.
You can text me on the side.
No, really? really? Like, he used to do that to me all the time. I'm like, you know that I can't control what comes out of my mouth. You know that about me. We've known each other for a while. Like, I'm going to say some stuff sometimes that's like, I probably shouldn't have said that, you know? And he'd just turn his head and go, really? And I'm like, yeah.
This is what I miss, you know, of seeing is that camaraderie and seeing the love that the group had, right? The results on the field, awesome. A lot of those great moments, all those other moments behind the scenes, like what you're discussing, you know, that's what makes it special. And this is why, no doubt, like, you are going in. You know, you were part of such a fun time. You wore Buck's hand out because you freaking hit bombs. You all-star slugger, MLB winning pitcher with a 0 ERA to his name, by the way. You went 2 innings, 2 Ks.
I got a 3. I have a 3, and I'm not happy about it.
Is that the other?
I had 2 appearances. I know. We could forget about it if you want to call Major League Baseball and see if you can get that. Let me plug my computer real quick. I had to pitch again in 19, I think. And you know who took me deep?
Looking it up. You messed up.
You know who took me deep? It was a former teammate of mine. Did me dirty.
Who did it?
Scopey, man.
Oh,
no.
Yeah. The nicest human being ever. I'm like, Jonathan, really? He's like, sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I'm like,
No.
I should have hit you. I knew I should have hit you.
You should have drilled him. That's foul. That's really foul.
I mean, I was older at that point in time. My arm wasn't what it used to be. And let's be honest, big league hitters are really good.
Yeah, they're not bad.
And but I think that was the only runs I gave up. But it was 2 innings pitched. I do have a win, which I'm super proud of. Sorry, I gotta plug my computer in.
You're good. I mean, we're close to wrapping because, you know, some of us still have to do some more work here. I gotta go. You know, I gotta go and do some pregame radio. But I would have you on to talk stories all the damn time. Like, I live for this, and my goal also, like, in all seriousness, one, people love to reminisce. We love to talk about good, great people that love sports and the community. And then above all, too, you know, I love to give people the insights behind the scenes, right? Like, people when they see this, you see how much fun you guys had, but 2, like, everything that goes into all this shit. And I think that's the coolest part. I do want to ask you, I got to ask you 2 fun questions on the way out.
Okay.
And one, it's not even related to baseball. Like, both of them actually not related. Okay. This is just our friends with CQ. Summer's wrapping up. There's 3 sports, and you could have another option, but summertime sport for you or activity: mini golf, pool basketball, cornhole, or other. What would you choose?
Pool basketball, like in the pool shooting.
Yeah. I mean, do you want shooting hoops?
No. Mini golf's tough because I suck at golf.
I was about to say.
I'm not terrible. I shoot in the 80s, but it's like, I mean, I'm long off the tee box and sometimes it's left, you know. So, but I'll probably go pool basketball. Man, I love being in the pool, especially. I mean, it's like 175 degrees down here, so I can't wait to be up there.
Yeah,
I know it's not going to be much cooler, but it will be cooler.
Yeah, let's pump the brakes here. Okay, it's still going to be very damn humid, but yes, I do hear you. And the other one is we were talking with, it's a day and age of NIL, right?
Yeah.
And not necessarily for the money side of this, but if we could go back in time, or even currently, where you could have a brand deal with something. So we had Joel Bitonio's on the Cleveland Browns. He was like, I wish I had a Wingstop deal.
Yeah.
We had Femi on a few days ago. He goes, I want a Whole Foods brand deal because I'm just living in Whole Foods. Like, do you have a brand deal that you would rock with?
I mean, it'd probably be something for the girls. I mean, my household single-handedly keeps Amazon in business.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Man, that's tough.
Would it be Amazon? I mean, like,
it's too broad. I want to. Yeah. I would go food, but I don't want to be like 400 pounds, you know? So like I would abuse that. So I can't have a food deal. Maybe like some kind of outdoor sports. I like to hunt. maybe like a Cabela's or Bass Pro. That'd be kind of sick.
Are you a fisher as well?
I'm not. I want to be, but I suck at tying knots on these little tiny fishing lines, and I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have patience. But
Some big bass in Texas, man.
there's one of our basketball dads. He made me this. It's
Oh, there you
backwards,
go.
but
No, it's right. That's awesome.
so now I have to fish because I'm going to use that. But I fished in high school, but we cheated because we fished stock ponds, so that's like not really fishing. But I enjoy being on the water. I just enjoy being outdoors. So I'll probably say like Cabela's or something like that would be sick. Buy guns and do all the fun stuff.
All right. I like it. I like it. Outdoorsman. You like to be
Yeah.
outdoors. And also, you're complaining about shooting in the 80s. Rocco hasn't
I
cleared
saw
100.
that.
Rocco hasn't cleared 100 in 84 years.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
he's a good kid. Well, CD, I literally could talk to you for days, man. I am so happy for you. Maybe last thing on the way out, what's something that you might have already said it, but things that you want the city of Baltimore to know?
I think what you said earlier, it's really been on my heart a lot lately. It was really important to me to bring winning back to Baltimore. After 14 losing seasons, after seeing the Orioles that I knew growing up, with Cal and Brady and BJ and Hoyles and Bordy, like seeing those teams that were competitive and knowing kind of from the other side as a competitor against them, kind of the struggles that they had gone through. It was really important to me to be a part of the group to bring winning back to Baltimore. I didn't know what it was going to look like, but coming from a winning organization, an organization that had been winning, that was important. And so that's one of the things that I think I really want fans to understand is we cared. Like that group of guys from 2012 to 2011, 2016, 17. Not to say that the guys don't care nowadays, but we really cared about winning. It was important to us because we knew the impact that it had on the city, and we saw the impact that it had on the fan base. And so that was important to me. That was part of the frustration at the end of my career was I wanted to be part of the group that brought it back again. But I'm super excited where the team's at now. I hope they can get it rolling. I love the Pete Alonso signing. I'm interested to see what happens at the trade deadline. But yeah, going back to your question, it was important to me to be a part of a winning organization and to help a team do that. So I'm super happy about that and super grateful that I was able to be a part of those teams in those years.
We're grateful that you were, and for so many reasons. And I appreciate you all the years and just how good you've been to me, and just you're a part of the community, whether you like it or not now. Like this is where you always will be a part of. And I'm glad you get your rightful place in the Orioles Hall of Fame. So I hope to see you over there on Saturday.
Yeah.
If not, definitely we got to shoot the shit more. And would love to have you on just to talk about things like this, but also other ways that we can help the next generation.
Yeah, for sure. Anytime, man. Anytime you want, reach out. I love to come on here. I love doing this stuff, man. I appreciate you having me on, Ryan.
Well, I appreciate it, Chris. Enjoy. Congrats again to your family.
Thanks,
and
man.
safe travels to Baltimore, all right?
All right, I appreciate it, fellas. Thank you.
Chris Davis, everybody.
Hey, that was great.
Yeah, I freaking love the stories, and I love CD, man. He is such a good dude, and I love all the different waves of this. Where I know we look at the sports world, and no one's gonna feel sorry about it. You get to go out and play a professional sport, but I think when you hear how much people actually care, and then you hear about how much people care about others, and you hear other people that care about making an impact for others. And on top of it, at the end of the day, when things didn't end the way that no one wants as an athlete, you want to try to end maybe on your own terms. But the goal is you still want to go out there and do right for the team and the city and the organization. And it's not the way that Chris wanted it to end. No one wanted it to end that way. But damn, was he such a huge part of this team, man, this organization. And rightfully so, he's going in this Saturday. So, Birdland, if you're going, you should be there. It's going to be great. Saturday at the Yard against the Phillies. And, yeah, I'm going to need more Chris stories on. Chris, I am texting Chris about these stories often because I have a pretty good idea of where he's going with a couple of these. because I got a few myself. So that was awesome. So
The way he told them was great too. Like we have always grateful for our guests, but like some of them just tell good stories, and Chris is a good storyteller.
Great storyteller, and above all, man, freaking loves Baltimore. And when you embrace the city the way that he has and so many others, city embraces you right back. So I think it's a great way to end it. I know we had news and notes on the way out. The news and the notes can wait to tomorrow for what could be more trades. Your boys got to get more on air to make sure that we're, making sure we're checking off the bills as well. So
30 seconds for a poll.
30 seconds, Brad's poll.
The poll was what's the best 90s baseball movie?
Oh, my goodness.
I had four. There's tons of them, by the way, as I was going through this. But Rookie of the Year, League of Their Own, Sandlot, and Little Big League were the 4 options I gave. Sandlot, of course, ran with it, but there are so many good baseball.
There's 2. Can we dedicate a day to solely baseball movies?
In the 90s alone.
Yeah, can we just do that?
Zach, I'm really upset for you that you didn't get to experience 90s baseball movies.
Actually, I've watched all of those.
No, I know, but I mean, like,
One
as they came out.
So what was all of them again?
It was League of Their Own, The Sandlot, Little Big League, and Rookie of the Year. Angels in the Outfield's also in there. There's Major League is also 90s. I mean, there's so many good 90s ones.
Well, there's the one for the love of the game.
For Love of the Game is 1999. Look, that was my favorite of all time. I wasn't going to put it in there because, it's not everybody's cup of tea. But it was. Yeah. It had everything. Drama, action, comedy, had everything.
It did. And,
Field of Dreams was 1989, in case anybody was wondering.
Just missed.
Yeah.
Just missed the cut.
Yeah, those are some good movies.
No Angels in the Outfield at 94.
That's what I said. I said Angels in the Outfield was it was in my list of contention.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, what some stars in that movie, by the way. Tony Danza, Christopher Lloyd.
Yep, that was a solid one growing up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we gotta make our run out of here. We appreciate our friends over at CQ. We appreciate AutoStream. We appreciate Chris Davis for tuning in, and we appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much. And that was a treat.
Of course. Oh, that was a great quotable movie too. Yeah. All right.
Said Hut.
Thanks, guys. We're out of here.
Oh, no music?
Okay, we can do music. Yep.
How you doing? As always, here at the Ryan Ripken Show, we appreciate each and every one of you. Have a day, have a night, have a great rest of your Monday. Come back and do it again with us tomorrow. Why? It's the Ryan Ripken Show. We're live Monday through Friday right here on YouTube, X, and Facebook. My dad threw a no-hitter in for a ball of the game.